Hey everyone, how's it going? This is the Bald Metal Nerd coming at you with another video. Obviously, you've read the title for this. I'm entering MetalMickey's 500 subscriber contest. I just want to start off by saying congratulations. You really deserve the 500 subs. I'm very happy for you. He's long been one of my favorite people in the VC. I really enjoy watching a lot of his videos. Now, here's a confession. I don't watch too many videos about people's CDs or records or whatever that they've bought because I don't find that incredibly interesting. But I love hearing people talk about albums or maybe certain collections of albums or music in general or whatever. And he has a lot of great content talking about that kind of stuff. So if you like hearing about music, definitely check him out. Of course, I'm going to link the original video in the description box. But with all that getting out of the way, let's go ahead and dive right into it. Now, for his contest, he asked 5 questions that he wanted us to answer. So I'm going to try to do that. The first question he asked was, what band, basically, do you think should have hit it a lot bigger than what they did? Like, what band, I guess, kind of was like, okay, yeah, they had a measure of success, but they should have maybe gone a lot further. Well, for me, that was a really easy question to answer. And that band, I'm going to show 2 of their albums. That band, of course, is Monster Magnet. This was the first album they had that had a, quote, hit on it, Negasonic Teenage Warhead. This is an absolutely fantastic album, Dopes to Infinity. Fantastic. Wonderful hard rock. And when this was, when Monster Magnet made this song, released it, or I'm sorry, the album, the song, and all the video for MTV and everything, this kind of rock was actually fairly fashionable. It was hard rock, but it was kind of retro to the 70s, and that's kind of what Monster Magnet, in a very broad term, sounds like. And they're extremely catchy, extremely talented. I'm honestly surprised these guys didn't hit it huge. I'm disappointed. Honestly, I would have thought they would have at least hit as big as the Chili Peppers, but obviously they didn't. So, such is life. The other hit they had, of course, was on this album, Power Trip, Space Lord. That was actually the first time I ever heard them, and fell in love with the band. And they are absolutely one of my favorite bands. Eventually, I'm gonna have to do a worst to first of their discography, but they are an amazing, amazing band. And if you haven't checked them out, you owe it yourself to listen to them, especially if you like just general hard rock. So that's the first question answered. And the next question, of course, is the opposite. Which band has more success than you ever thought they would? Well, again, that was another fairly easy question for me to answer because I was like, well, who do I know of that has a lot of success, but I wouldn't have thought they would have caught on in the mainstream? None other than, of course, Ghost. Just because their style of music, yes, it's catchy, but it's a bit, for the word, what's the word I'm looking for? Esoteric for the mainstream, especially with like the satanic themes and all that. I'm really, really surprised that they've gotten as big as they have. Because they are absolutely a really big band at this point. They're playing arenas. I never would have thought this for this band. I honestly would have thought they would have stayed more or less a cult thing for the duration of their career, but they have completely, Tobias Forge has completely, blown that away with this band. And I like them. I absolutely like Ghost a lot, but I am really surprised they're as popular as they are. So there you go. What's the next question? Next question was, I'm cheating because I have it written down. What album holds your, happiest memories? Well, that was a tough one. I actually had a tough time figuring that out. But I kind of picked out 2 records here that I thought really epitomized a very happy time in my life. The time in my life that these epitomized is when I was just coming into, becoming a young adult, right? This was before my first marriage, and I had a measure of freedom that I didn't have before. I had a job, my own car. I was still living with my parents at the time, but I was going to tons of shows, going out with a lot of different girls. It was really, I was going to college. It was a time of big possibilities for my life, and a very unique period of time that honestly I'll never get to experience again, but it was a lot of fun. So 2 albums that were released roughly during that time period, and one of these albums is going to relate to Vinylizer's, one of his answers. One album that came out during that time that I just remember listening to it a lot during that time is Bruce Dickinson's Accident of Birth. This is an awesome album. In fact, it's better than many Maiden albums. So if you have not heard this, if you're a Maiden fan, you owe it to yourself to get this. It is absolutely amazing. Same goes for Chemical Wedding, which Vinylizer I know hasn't listened to, but do yourself a favor, get both of those albums. Absolutely fantastic. The other album that I thought about was this one, Overkill, from the Underground and Below. I actually saw them on this tour. I think sadly, that's the only time I've seen Overkill, but I remember it was during that time period, and I remember it was absolutely an incredible show, fantastic. It was just, I just remember the sound being awesome. It was just an awesome concert. I ran into some friends at the show. It was an absolutely great time. So that's why this one is a happy memory for me. So, moving on. What album in your collection have you not heard all the way through? Well, this was a fairly easy one as well. This one, it's a little bit of a cheat, so whatever, cheater. It's Tales from the Crypt, the Bordello of Blood soundtrack. I bought this at a flea market one day just because, I don't know, completely random. And I've never listened to the whole thing. I've listened to some of the songs on it. I really like the Anthrax song, Bordello of Blood. Of course, there's just like classic rock songs. Like, you got All Right Now by Free, which is really good. Jailbreak by Thin Lizzy, which is good. Scorpions. Humble Pie, 30 Days in the Hole, Cinderella. But I've never really listened to Curb. Oh, no, I've heard it. It's terrible. Curb Dog, This Is Not a Love Song. Basically, I listen to this off and on, a few songs here and there, but I never ever sit through this thing and listen to it front to back. There's just too many clunkers on it. So there you go. And then the final question is, show an album with a dog. Well, I thought about showing the Alice in Chains Tripod album, but I figured someone else will probably show that one off, and I wanted to let whoever showed that off have that one to themselves. So I was like, okay, what else do I got that has a dog on it? And now, I don't know if you're a fan of this band or not, Mike, but this is one of those, what I would call sleazy, glammy type of bands, more or less. And that, of course, is Jackals' self-titled debut. I'll just hold it up so you can see. There's several dogs here, actually, on the cover, as you can well see. And this is absolutely my favorite Jackal album. It's actually really, really good. Full of great songs and absolutely worth a pickup if you're a fan of just, hard rock type of, late 80s, early 90s type of stuff. So, anyway, that's pretty much it. I just want to say again, my congratulations on the 500 subs. Well earned. You have a great channel, and I really enjoy your videos. I guess I'll have to think of something when I get close to 1,000 subscribers, because that's my next benchmark I'm looking at. But anyway, that's it. If you like this, as always, thumbs up. If you hate me, thumbs down. Share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thanks so much for watching. Live long and prosper.